Oh, hey guys. Anyhow, yep, semi-retarded here. Oh, fuck. Oh. I'm gonna go work for a few hours. But anyways, I got a little time to fuck off, right? I'm gonna kind of get ready. Anyhow, yesterday I dumped a ton of videos. Shit, man. Whatever, right? Who cares? Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. Yeah, no, bro. No, it's all good, man. I don't, whatever. And I'm not trying to be an asshole, honestly. Generally, I'm not really. That I don't think. I could be fucking wrong, though, dude. I don't know. But yeah, no. It's no, there are no big deals, man. I think it's funny when people, challenge me, whether they have a good point or not, and yeah, I mean, so I don't know. And of course, my natural instinct is I'm gonna defend myself, But like the teen angst thing, it is true. It's true, and I do, dude. Like, it's like that thing where sometimes you eat the bear and sometimes the bear eats you. I'm gonna have 80% or more of my videos are just gonna fall flat. They're just gonna be some dumb ramblings, probably, or some mediocre commentary. 80% or more of my shit is just gonna be that, and that's okay. That's just part of the thing. I've kind of talked about that, and so of course I should be expecting criticism, and that criticism that's true is right. And anyhow, but no, and then I probably I don't know. I'm sure that I'm unreasonable a lot, and I'm an asshole and all this shit. Right? I know. I try not to be. And like this channel is like one of the few, if really only place where I can just talk. Okay, I could just talk, spew my thoughts out or whatever. It's like with the storyboard. What I've been storyboarding. I haven't really storyboarded much, except for the recent breakthrough. But the reason I was storyboarding is because nobody wants to listen to my story, right? And that's okay, but I still have to. I'm still like compelled to just go over this, and so whatever, right? And that's kind of, I guess that's what my channel really is I just kind of whatever, dude. It's not any kind of groundbreaking shit. Or if it is, like, I don't know, and I don't see what's the point in caring even if it is. It's like that's why I like to bring up H.P. Lovecraft. Like, H.P. Lovecraft never got any recognition until long after his death, so whatever. What does it matter, I don't think H.P. Lovecraft really did it. Generally, H.P. Lovecraft didn't write science fiction horror for recognition. I mean, everybody's human, and so everybody wants recognition, But, I mean, it's just like generally, H.P. Lovecraft was a human being, and so every human being wants recognition. But generally, H.P. Lovecraft's point was not getting recognition. Like, the main point of H.P. Lovecraft's purpose for writing was for the love of the game, man. It's just the love of the game, like whatever. He just happened to have a passion for writing sci-fi horror, and he enjoyed it. And so he did it. Man, whatever. Who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, and he got it published in these, magazines and shit and whatever. I mean, yeah, like one time recently I was debating with a friendly acquaintance of mine, and we were talking about band stuff, and I was like, well, dude, like, like I've been in bands where we recorded and released albums, and then my friendly acquaintance was arguing why would you do that? And it's like, because that's part of the game. That's just part of the art. It's part of the game when in a band, And so why would the band that I was in release albums? Because it was funny. Like, we would release albums, and the drummer did the fucking album art, and the album art was this trucker guy, this naked trucker guy standing outside of his redneck truck, and he was jacking off. He had a big ass boner and was jacking off onto like some roadkill. And the album was titled Roadkill Dick Suck. Like, it's super funny, dude. And all it was a single. So it had one song on one side of the record, one song on the other. It probably cost maybe $200 to press the records, something like that. It was like $200 to press, whatever. I don't know, because I never paid for the record pressings. But like, I was like, dude, to me that was hilarious. And then when we play shows, we would have these records for sale, and they were all fucked up like that. That band I was in probably had 10 single records, and every album was like totally fucked up. Like, there was this one single release, like I don't even know what they're called, the small records, where there's only like one or two songs on each side. And the record was titled Jogging with My Dick Out. And that was one of the main featured song. And this guy Schlack, who was in a super crazy band called Call the Paramedics. The guitar player for the Dropkick Murphys played guitar for Call the Paramedics. And Schlack is totally insane, bro. Like, this guy, no, he's a super sweet guy. But you would never know by looking at him. I mean, that motherfucker looked 100 times crazier than Charles Manson. Scary looking motherfucker. Big ass motherfucker. Ripped. With the exception of his gut. He had a fucking beer gut that was huge. But besides his beer gut, he was totally ripped. Missing like 2 front teeth because of all of his life his life is like, and the band is called Call the Paramedics because, dude, like, I've talked about shows we played with Call the Paramedics. It was like shocking, dude. Like, holy fuck, bro. Unbelievable shit, dude. And anyway, Schlack was a really good artist too. And so he drew the fucking album art for the record Jogging with My Dick Out. And it was so funny, dude. It was this crazy guy, and he's jogging in a neighborhood, like a nice neighborhood, and he's got a big boner sticking out. And I mean, oh my gosh, one of the albums, I can't remember what the single album was called, but the album art was done by Mike Dana, and Mike Dana became famous in the underground art scene because he's the only person in the history of the United States of America who has ever been arrested for his art. You can look it up on Wikipedia. Like, his art was so controversial that one of his art pieces got him arrested. And it's the only case in the history of the United States of America where an artist has been arrested for their art, for the painting that they made. And Mike Dana, the band I was in, commissioned Mike Dana to fucking do the album art for this single record that was pressed. And it was it was like this crazy drawing painting of like Jesus Christ. It looked like Jesus Christ, and he had the thorns, and he was naked, and he was running, and in one hand he had like a case of something, and in his other hand he had a gun, and he was running, and he had a giant boner, and there was like blood squirting out of his dick. Like, it was hilarious. It was fucking, and all of the songs are super like crazy grindcore punk, like crazy songs, right? And so we would play shows, and we would have these, they would, and I was in the band, but I never paid for any of the record pressings, and I never got any of the, money from the record sales, but I didn't care because I played in that band for the love of the game. That's what it was. It's the love of the game, bro. Don't you get it? You don't get it? And so the other day I was arguing with a friendly acquaintance of mine because he was claiming that there was no reason to press records. And the only reason you would press records is kind of like just sell out, You're just selling out if you're pressing records. I'm like, what? And he's like asking me, well, why else? Why would you press records then? If it's not just to sell out and become recognized and shit. It's like, dude, because of the love of the game. See, he don't understand. He just doesn't understand. And that's okay. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like, and he has his own life. He doesn't have time to sit and listen to me explain, well, this is why we pressed records, dude. Like it's totally, so whatever, right? It's obvious that those records pressed were not to get get signed with a record deal. Who's gonna sign? What like major record label is gonna sign a deal with a band that's singing about chopping your dick off and roadkill dick suck and jogging with my dick out and like shit like this? Like, no record label is gonna waste a single second. Like, if we were to send one or two of those records to a record label, like a major record label or something, even solicit it to a major record label through attorneys and stuff, they would take one look at that and they'd throw it in the fucking garbage. They'd be disgusted. Because, the album cover itself is like a picture of a dude with a dick, fucking big giant dick, and it's ejaculating onto a dead corpse on the ground. Of course, that's not you don't understand. You don't understand. And that's okay. Everybody's different, so whatever. But anyways, yeah, no. So anyway, but yeah, no, my videos, they just whatever, dude. It's just whatever, And so, I honestly, I'm not trying to offend nobody. And people can take shots at me, and that's okay. The only thing is it's my channel, so I'm going to defend my channel, And I don't mean, it's all in good sport. It's all in, this is a blood sport, and I'm pretty tame when it comes, when you really look at the blood sport on the internet. I'm pretty tame compared to your average. Like, most of these guys, they have no principle. I have principle, like my channel is based in, discussing the plight of the homeless, right? So, many people, they don't have any principle. They're just out for blood, dude. Total bloodlust. I'm not really out for blood. I'm just flipping the script. For example, like on Fox News, where the guy said we should just kill all the homeless with a lethal injection. That was really a real thing that on Fox News, where the Fox News whatever commentator or whatever literally said that we should just kill all the homeless with a lethal injection. And people to this day, they still don't believe that happened. Like, it's totally real. It was on fucking Fox News. I saw it for myself. I even posted it on my channel. And then one of the first things that people were doing was saying, that's not real, that's AI. No, it's not. No, it's not. They really said that. We should just kill all the homeless. And you know, it's like, I'm just flipping the script. Well, why can't I take that script where Fox News says we should just kill all the homeless and just flip the script and say, well, I think we should just kill all the middle 80%ers. The world would be such a better place if we just fucking killed all the fucking working and middle class and upper middle class. Just fucking lethal inject them. Fuck it. What good are they? What are they doing? What do all these middle 80%ers do? What do they do? All I'm doing is flipping the script. It's like somebody made a really a good comment where they're saying, you know, that my commentary is a lot of times seems really poignant and scathing. And that's part of the point of it. You see, all I do is flip the script, and then people are like, whoa, like your commentary is really harsh and scathing. But really all my commentary is I'm flipping the script. And then what's crazy is it's so normalized to disparage the homeless. You know, they're all just a bunch of lazy, mentally ill, drug addicted, criminal, vagrant. It's so normal that there's this constant scathing fucking ridicule of homeless people that people aren't even shocked by it, you know. They're not even shocked. It's just like, oh yeah, more news about, you know, all these dirty, scummy, fucked up, retarded homeless people. Oh, but if you were to flip the script and be like, well, you know, look at all these working and middle class people. What do? They're just they're the majority of them are all fucking drugged out, getting pills from their doctor, lying about that they need fucking pain pills. They're all fucking lazy, you know. You go and buy. Where's customer service? Like all these fucking people working these jobs, they're assholes to customers. They don't even have any, like, what are all these people doing? All these middle and working class and upper middle class people, they're just a bunch of zombies that are carrying out the bidding of the billionaire class. And then they pat themselves on the back. Oh, I'm such a good person because I carry out the bidding of the billionaire class. Well, who are the billionaire class? A bunch of PDFs hanging out on fucking on these fucking islands and shit. What's that island called? I can't remember. You know, all I'm doing is flipping the script, generally. So you see how the script about homelessness is so normalized that nobody's even fazed by it. Nobody really cared when Fox News said we should just kill all the homeless, you know, with a lethal injection. Nobody, that really didn't faze anybody, hardly at all. Like, no, not at all. Nobody cared. Like, did Asmund Gold do a big video about how Fox News said we should kill all homeless? Of course he didn't. Of course, Asmund Gold and none of these people gave a flying fuck that Fox News was telling everybody we should just kill all the homeless. No, but if Fox News had said that, like, we should just kill all the blacks, you know, with lethal injection. Oh, Asmund Gold would have been all over that. If Fox News would have said we should just kill all the Jews with lethal injection, Asmund Gold would have been all over it. But when Fox News says we should just kill all the homeless with lethal injection, no, Asmund Gold doesn't. Nobody cares. You know, I've talked about this. Like, you can look this up for yourself. There was a news story in The Guardian, mainstream media news, and the news story was titled, "Hundreds of Homeless Mysteriously Disappear Overnight in Salt Lake City." Hundreds of homeless mysteriously disappear overnight in Salt Lake City. And I read the article. And the article is exactly what the title of the article said. There's a place in downtown Salt Lake City where all the homeless go every fucking day, and they're all lined up around the block to get to the soup kitchen and et cetera, okay? And one day, just out of the blue, that homeless place was like a total ghost town. There was nobody there at all. And it was so weird because everybody's used to these masses of homeless people that, like, everybody tripped out. They're like, where's all the homeless people? And it was so weird that they called the cops, and the cops are like, where's all the fucking homeless people? And so then the cops are like driving all over town looking for all these homeless people, these mobs of homeless people, and they're all gone. They just disappeared off the face of the fucking earth. And the cops were so tripped out that they put a helicopter up in the air to go fly out into the outskirts to, you know, where the camps are. No fucking homeless people. And then the Guardian interviewed the sheriff, the chief of police, and is like asking the chief, like, what happened? The chief's answer was very simple. He said, that's a good question. I don't know. And that was the article. And there was never a follow-up article that's like explaining it or going into it. Like, that was just it. Hundreds of homeless people mysteriously disappear overnight in Salt Lake City. Like, that's an X-File. I'm watching the X-Files. I'm binge watching the X-Files. Like, that would be literally a fucking X-Files episode that Fox Mulder and Scully would be going out to fucking, hello, like, but did anybody care that that article came out? No, nobody said nothing about it. Nobody cared. And it blew my mind. As a dendrologist, I'm looking at this like, this is literally an X-File. No explanation. And there never was. There was never a follow-up article explaining about, well, what happened with all those hundreds of homeless people. Yeah, who cares? Nobody fucking cared. Now, imagine if that article was titled, Hundreds of Black People Mysteriously Disappear Overnight in Salt Lake City. Well, it's obvious what would happen. Half of the country would go up in flames. Black Lives Matter would be burning fucking buildings down in every other city in the fucking country. It would go nationwide. And you know what's so crazy, dude? When I finally did a video about that article, because that came out in 2016 in The Guardian. Hundreds of homeless people mysteriously disappear overnight in Salt Lake City. When I finally did a video about that in like 2018, well, I'd done video, but I revisited it because I was so blown away. I to this day, it's like, I can't believe how people just don't give a fuck, right? And I did a video talking about how if that article was about hundreds of black people mysteriously disappearing overnight in Salt Lake City, you'd have riots all over this country. And then you know what happened shortly after I put that video out? The Black Lives Matter, mostly fiery but mostly peaceful protests happened. Like shortly after I put that video out, talking about how ridiculous it is that the Guardian would put out this article about homeless people disappearing and nobody gives a fuck. But if it had said hundreds of black people mysteriously disappear overnight in Salt Lake City, dude, this country, half of this country would fucking go up in flames. And like a month or something after I put that video out was the mostly fiery but mostly peaceful protests. I shit you not. You know, it's almost like clairvoyancy or something, but it's really not. It's all really what it is it's just logic, dude. That's all it is. That's all I'm talking about is logic. It's just logic. You know. And nobody to this day, nobody gives a fuck about that. Nobody ever did. Nobody cared. That wasn't like a Richie from Boston's on the scene. No, bro. And, but so that's what I'm saying. I flipped the script. I'm flipping the script. Hundreds of homeless people mysteriously disappear overnight in Salt Lake City, and nobody cares. Well, let's flip the script. Let's say hundreds of black people mysteriously disappear overnight in Salt Lake City. Well, then the whole country goes up in flames. All the black people just burn everything down because they're pissed off. Flipping the script. That's all I'm doing. You know, like going back to the person who's like, man, your commentary often seems very scathing and poignant. But in a sense, all it is I'm flipping the script. Like with the Fox News, where Fox News says, oh, we should just kill all the homeless people with the lethal injection. Nobody cares. But if they had said we should just kill all the blacks, well, the fucking half the country would go up in flames. So why is that? What's the difference? And so when I flip the script on shit, it seems poignant and scathing, but that's the whole point is all I'm doing is like all this commentary that disparages homeless. If I were to just flip the script, one of the weird things about it is whenever I flip the script, it's pretty much as accurate as it would be if it were directed at the homeless. It's just as accurate if I were to take that article, flip the script so it's directed at the working middle class and upper middle class. It's just as accurate. But if I flip the script directed at working middle and upper middle class, it's poignant and scathing. Whereas if it's directed at the homeless, no, it's not poignant and scathing. It's just another day, you know. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, another homeless person is another, all these homeless people, you know. To me, it's just fascinating. It's just fascinating to flip the script. And I love it when people, you know, it's like when people point out the scathing, you know, poignant like commentary, when really it's just all it is I'm just taking this story and applying it to a protected class of people, and now all of a sudden it seems very harsh. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, dude. So I got to get going soon. And the reason I do it is just to get people thinking. You don't have to agree with me. And, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm putting my face out there, and so I'm going to get criticized. I should expect it. And a lot of times, I'm just a fallible human being. So of course, a lot of the criticism is going to be accurate and stuff. But as is mine, as is my commentary criticizing society. You know, yeah. Hundreds of homeless people mysteriously disappear overnight in Salt Lake City. That's a fucking X-file. That's Mulder and Scully on the scene. What do you mean hundreds of homeless people mysteriously disappeared overnight? Why doesn't anybody care about this? This is weird. Let's investigate, Scully. You know what I mean? That's an X-file, bro. That's like some FBI, CIA, or whatever. Like, that's like some, like, what the fuck? But what's the mind-blowing thing is nobody cared. Nobody gave a fuck. Richie from Boston was not on the scene. Neither was David Icke or any of these so-called, like, real-life Fox Mulder people. They didn't give a fuck, dude. Because it's not the popular, trendy thing, you know? That's what's important. That's what's important. Clicks, likes, views, subs, etc., etc. You know the drill. You know the drill. Yeah, we should just kill all the homeless with a lethal injection, says Fox News. Nobody cares. Again, if they had said we should just kill all the blacks, well, yeah. You know the drill, bro. You know the drill. And my whole point is, again, I'm not championing homeless. I'm just, if anything, I'm championing the human race. It's like, dude, if you have this extreme double standard, if your society has this extreme double standard, where if Fox News says we should kill all the homeless, nobody cares. But if Fox News has said we should kill all the blacks, everybody's freaking out. If your society has this extreme double standard, basically your society is fucked. That's like a major red flag that your society is totally insane. Like, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a maladjusted society. Like, that's purely insane on a level that is incomprehensible. That's an incomprehensible level of insanity to have that extreme of a double standard, where Fox News could say we should just kill all the homeless and everybody just shrugs their shoulders like, Whereas if Fox News said we should just kill all the blacks, like, everybody would be freaking the fuck out. You'd have people dying in the streets, fucking cities going up in flames. Like, that's purely insane. And the same with the, hundreds of homeless people mysteriously disappear in Salt Lake City. That's like an article in the mainstream media news, and everybody just shrugs their shoulders like that. Whereas if it had said hundreds of blacks mysteriously disappear overnight in Salt Lake City, again, the whole fucking country would be flipping the fuck out, dude. I mean, you would never hear the end of the Salt Lake City incident where hundreds of blacks mysteriously disappeared overnight. You'd never hear the end of it. You would never. And that's what I'm saying. The double standard, is this extreme double standard? It's beyond sickening. It is so fucking disgusting. Like it's basically what that is a litmus test that's showing how retarded people are. Like people are just retarded, dude. You know? I'm sorry. Like what you explain that double standard to me. You can't explain a double standard because the whole point and nature of a double standard is that's what makes it so ridiculous is you can't defend a double standard. It's purely hypocritical in every sense of the word hypocrisy. It's like it makes absolutely no sense. And then people like try to pretend that all this makes sense. No, it doesn't. It's completely absurd. And then you gotta. And so how do you function in this society where everybody's just pretending? Like, again, it is no measure of health to be. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a maladjusted society. So it's super insane, and I gotta go. So see you, boys.